Yeah. Let us revise what yesterday we had learned and then go further. In yesterday's class, we had learned about the standard form of linear pair or linear pair of equation, which is given as ax plus by plus c equal to 0, or ax plus by plus c equal to 0, or you can also write it as ax plus by is equal to minus c also. Here what is the condition? That a, b and c should be a real numbers. Real numbers, and a and b both should not be equal to 0. Both a and b should not be equal to 0. If a, b, c is a real number and if a and b both are not equal to 0, then you can say this is a standard form of pair of linear equation with two variables. That is, x is one variable and y is another one variable. So it is of two variables. Next, if you have only one variable, then what will be the standard form of linear equation? Standard form of linear equation for one variable will be equal to ax plus b is equal to 0, or ax plus c is equal to 0, but you should have only one variable, that is alphanumerical coefficient x or y should be there. It can also be written as or by plus c also. Clear? You should have a constant. You should have a constant. When you have one constant and one alphanumerical coefficient, then you can say it as a standard form of linear equation for one variable. Clear? Then what is the condition here? A and b should be a real number. Then a should not be equal to 0. If they have given in the form of by plus c equal to 0, then what will be the condition? B and c should be real numbers and b should not be equal to 0. Yes? Did you understand the standard form of linear equation for two variables and a single variable? They will ask you the question in the multiple choice. The completely paper is based on the multiple choice, so we are going to deal with 1 mark question itself. So they'll ask what is the standard form of linear pair of equation for two variables, and they'll give you n number of the four choices. In that you need to choose ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Then they'll ask the standard form of linear pair of equation for one variable. So it can also be ax plus b is equal to 0, or it can be by plus c equal to 0. Whichever is the correct answer when the choice, you are going to take it. So these are the two important things, and you have learned the general form of linear equation. So let me write here. General form of linear equation of two variables. You do not have one variable, it is of two variables, which is given as a1 plus a1x plus b1 y plus c1 is equal to 0, and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. So what is the condition here? The condition is a1, b1, c1, a2, b2 and c2, all the 6 variables, that is the numerical coefficients should be a real numbers. Let me write a1, b1, c1, a2, b2 and c2 should be the real numbers. Then what is the condition? That is a1 and b1 should not be equal to 0, a2 and b2 should not be equal to 0. Then you have another condition, that is a1 square plus b1 square should not be equal to 0, and a2 square plus b2 square should also not be equal to 0. Then what are they saying? If you add minus 1, if the value of a is minus 1 and if the value of b is plus 1, so minus 1 square will be 1 itself and 1 square will be 1 itself. So what you will get? You will get it as 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. So you need to get a real number when you add or square your a and b values. When you have got a square and b square as 0, then you are going to say it as not a linear pair of equation, because the condition what they have told is not being satisfied. So these are the three important points what we had learned in the yesterday's class. That is the standard form of linear pair of two equations and the standard form of linear pair of one variables, general equation of linear pair of equation with two variables. Clear? Then we are going to, we have also studied about the possibilities of this linear pair of equation. That is, if you have the linear pair of equation, that is, you will be having two lines. As you have written the general equation, a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. If you have got these two equations, you will find out the x and y values, x and y coordinates, and you will find the value of x and y coordinates for each of the equation, and you will be ready to plot it in the graph. Now, if you want to plot it in the graph, you will get as lines. What type of lines you will get? You will get an intersecting lines, then parallel line, then coincident line. Yes, this is what we had studied in the yesterday's class. How will you say it is an intersecting lines? Using only the general equation, without finding out the x and y values. Only if they ask what is the condition for an intersecting lines when you have two lines, that is a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0, then you are going to say that it will be having one intersecting point. One intersecting point. Then if it is being asked for the parallel line, then you are going to say there is no intersecting points. No intersecting points. Correct? Then if they has asked about the coincident line, at that time what are you going to say? You are going to say that all the points, whatever you get it in that equation, it should coincide with each other. So all the points intersect each other to represent a single line. Correct? Thus we had learnt in the yesterday's class, that is the previous class, what is an intersecting lines, parallel lines, and the coincident line. How are they represented? What is the condition when they are being satisfied and when not they have been satisfied. After this, we are going. This is only using the general equation without finding the coordinate points. You are going to justify, or you are going to say that looking at the equation, if they ask you about the intersecting points, you are going to say, yeah, one point will be there. For the parallel lines, no intersecting points will be there, and for coincident lines, all the points should be intersecting with each other. Looking at the general equation, you will be telling, if they had given you the if they have given with the numbers, that is 2x plus 3y is equal to 4, and then 7x plus 5y is equal to 7. If they had given with this numbers, then how are you going to say whether it is an intersecting lines, parallel lines and coincidence line? For that we have been thought about the graphical method. And the graphical method, what is the conditions? Let us see. Before going to the graphical method, there are two important points to be learned before going to the graphical method. One is consistent, inconsistent, and distinct. Distinct or dependent, dependent. It's not distinct, it's dependent. This is the consistent. How are you going to say it as a consistent? If you get a solution. If you get a solution, then you are going to say that the two lines are being given as a consistent pair of linear equation. If you do not get any solution, then you are going to say it as a inconsistent pair of linear equation. Then what is this dependent? Dependent is whatever the points you get. It must not be only one solution, not one solution. It might be n number of solution or infinite number of solution. If you get so much of solutions and only two equation, then you are going to say it as a dependent. So you will be having infinite number of solutions. Clear? You will be having infinite number of solutions for the dependent, for the consistent, and you can also say this is as a consistent also. Because what is the condition for the consistency? You should have only one solution. You should at least have one solution. If you have a solution, then it is a consistent. You can also write it as consistent or dependent, but this dependent cannot be it cannot be written for one single solution. This dependent is being defined for n number of solutions or infinite number of solutions. This is only defined for infinite number of solutions, but consistent is also defined for single solution. If you have one solution, then it is consistent. If you have n number of solutions, then you should say it as a dependent. If dependent has been not used, then you can also say it as a consistent, because the condition for the consistency is at least you should have one solution. Clear about this? So what we have learned today, the word consistent. What does that word consistent tells you about? It is telling that if you have two linear pair of equation, you should at least have one solution for this two linear pair of equation. Then we'll take the examples next. The inconsistent is you should not get even a single solution. If the problem does not have a solution, then you are going to say it as an inconsistent solution. Then dependent, we mainly use it as dependent. What is this dependent? If you have an equation, it might be 2x plus 3y is equal to 4, and the other equation will also be of same numbers. That is 2x plus 3y plus is equal to 4. If both the equation represents the same points, if I find out the x and y coordinates for this equation, what you'll get? So it is 2x is equal to 4 minus 3y, and x will be equal to 4 minus 3y divided by 2. So I have always telling you, and I'm even now telling you that you should always opt for your y term. Whatever the terms you have it on your right hand side, you need to guess the values for that, and whatever the guess number you have put here, you should get the value for the x-axis. So I'm going to guess y value as 0. If I am considering y value as 0, then what will be my x value? So it is 4 minus 3 into 0 divided by 2, which is 4 divided by 2. 3 into 0 is 0. 4 minus 0 is 4 itself. So 4 divided by 2, which is 2. You get 2. When y is equal to 0, you get x value as 2. Clear? Next, if you are taking or if you are guessing the value of y as 1, if you are guessing the value of y as 1, then what will be the value of x? So if you substitute it in this equation, you get 4 minus 3 into 1 divided by 2. Clear? So it is 4 minus 3 ones are 3 divided by 2, which is 4 minus 3 is 1 by 2, which is 0.5. So if y value is 1, x value is 0.5. See here, both the equation are of same numbers. 2x plus 3y is equal to 4, and the other equation is also of the same number, that is 2x plus y plus 3y is equal to 4. If both the equation is of same number, then you get the coordinate point, that is x and y value with the same point. That is, if y is equal to 0, then x will be 2. If y is equal to 1, then x will be 0.5. If you are going to plot it in the graph, you get a straight line. Correct? So both the lines are being represented in single line. Then only you can say that it is a dependent, or else you cannot say it as a dependent line. Did you understand? See, here you have plotted 2 points. So both the lines has been intersecting each other with each and every point. Then only you are going to say it as a dependent linear pair of equation. If it has not been intersecting, if one of the point has not been intersecting, then if you get a line, the pair of line as in the crisscross symbol, then you are going to say it as a consistent, because you have only one solution. Now I think you have got the difference between the consistent and the dependent. Dependent means n number of solutions will be there. All the points, whatever you have found out in the given two equations, should coincide with each other. Then only you are going to say it as a dependent. If you are not able to name it as a dependent, you can also use it as a consistent. No matter they give you the marks, you can also use it as a consistent or dependent. But now it is of multiple choice. If they ask you, if the option is given as a dependent, then you need to choose it as a dependent. For that purpose, we are using dependent for the consistency. In place of consistency, when you have infinite number of solutions, then you are going to use the word as dependent. If you have one number of solution, then it is a consistent line. Then, now let us go to the graphical representation. Now coming to the graphical representation, you have already known the general equation of a linear pair. So general equation of linear pair is given as a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, and it is of the second line a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. So the two lines, the two general formula for the two different lines are given. Then what are you have the condition? What you have the condition for this graphical representation? If you have, if you get an crisscross line, then how are you going to say it as a intersecting lines? Now let us see. So what are the three different lines you have already been used? It is an intersecting, then parallel, then co-consistent. Coincident lines. So this is of lines. You have three different lines. One is the intersecting lines, another one is the parallel line, and another one is the coincident line. Now, for this graphical representation, what is the condition? What should be the condition? Now, till now you were using the you were seeing about the line, how they have been represented. If you see the line, as crisscross, then you would have said it is an intersecting line. Why? Because you will be having one intersecting point. If it was a parallel, or if they had given it as no points are getting intersected, then you would have told it as a parallel line. All the points are intersecting, then you would have told it as coincident line. Now, how, using this graphical, using these two line equation, how are you going to represent, or how are you going to say it as a linear pair of equation with intersecting lines, parallel lines, and coincident lines? That is, you are going to find out the ratio of A1 by A2, B1 by B2, and C1 by C2. You are going to find the ratios of two different equations, that is the numerical coefficients of A1 and A2, numerical coefficient of B1 and B2, and numerical coefficient of C1 by C2. For example, if I am going to take the example as random equation, I'll take for the example. So it is 2x plus 3y is equal to 5 and 6x plus 7y is equal to 8. So let this be a random equation. Now let me identify what are the coefficients of A. What in place of A1, what has been written as? Let me write it here. The general formula. So it is, let me write the general formula first, that is A1x plus B1y plus C1 is equal to 0. And let me write this equation, that is 2x, in place of x, whatever the x terms coefficient is there, it is replaced by A1. Then what are the y terms coefficient will be there, it will be replaced by B1, and the constant without any coefficient is C1. If it comes to the left hand side, it is minus. So it is been written as minus 5 is equal to 0. So this is of the first line. Then coming to the second line, let me write the general equation for the second line, that is A2x plus B2y plus C2 is equal to 0. Then if I represent the values of A2, B2, C2, what I get, whatever the coefficient I have for x term is being replaced for A2 term, and whatever the coefficient I have in place of y, with the y, will be replaced in the place of B2. And what, without any coefficient, if you have a number in the equation, then it is the value of C2. It is in the right hand side. If you bring it to the left hand side, you get it as a minus sign. Since in the right hand side you have it as a plus sign, if you get it to the left hand side, you will get it as a minus sign. So this is about the second equation. Now, what is the what they have told? If you want to represent, or if you want to say whether it is an intersecting, parallel, or coincident line, using this equation, numerical equations, and how are you going to say whether it is these different lines? Then you are going to look at the ratios, that is whether A1 by A2, B1 by B2, and C1 by C2, if they are in same ratios or not. Let me see if they are in same ratios or not. How are you going to substitute? What is the value of A1 you have? Under A1 you will be having the value of 2. Then what has been divided with A1? It is A2. So under A2 you will be having 6. Then after next, what is the value of B1? The value of B1 is 3. Then with B1 you are been dividing B2 value, that is 7. Next is C1, which is, you need to take the negative sign. If it is of negative sign, you need to take the negative sign. You need to do the sum based on the signs also, but using the signs. Then C2 is also minus 8. So this is how you are going to write it in the ratio form. First you need to write it in the ratio form, then come back to the condition. Did you understand how to write the ratio form? This has been already taught for you. It's just a revision for you. Now you have written the ratio form. Now you are going to write the conditions. What are the conditions for the intersecting lines? The condition is A1 by A2 should not be equal to B1 by B2. As we have taken the example here, what is A1 by A2 value? It is 2 by 6. And what is the B1 by B2 value? It is 3 by 7. Is 2 by 6 equal to 3 by 7? No, 2 by 6 will not be equal to 3 by 7. So, whatever the equation I have, whatever the equation they have given, that is 2x plus 3y is equal to 5 and 6x plus 7y is equal to 8 is an intersecting lines. Why it is an intersecting line? Because the condition, the graphical representation condition has not been satisfied, that is A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. If this is not being satisfied, then how are you going to conclude your answer? The conclusion what you are going to write is, what are you going to conclude your answer? The conclude is how many, initially when you were using only the general equation, or when you are been using the symbol for the representation, when you have a crisscross and a point has been intersecting, you are going to say it as an intersecting point. Similar way, when it has been said that it is an intersecting line using this condition, then you are going to say you will be having only one solution. You are going to say it as you will be having one solution, or you can also say it as a unique solution. You can also name it as a unique solution. Unique, only one single piece is also called as unique. Unique piece, single talent is also called as unique talent. So single solution is also called as unique solution. Now, if you have got a solution, already 5 moments back we have also studied about if you have got a single solution, then you will say that as which pair of linear equation? You will say it as a consistent pair of linear equation. Correct? So it is a consistent pair of linear equation. What did you learn now? For the intersecting lines, for the if you are going to represent it in the graphical representation, then the condition is A1 by A2 should not be equal to B1 by B2. How are you going to find out these ratios? If they have given the two equations, then you are going to substitute that equation in the general formula. How are you going to identify whether which term to be substituted for which? If you have anything with x, if you have any number with x, then you are going to substitute in place of A1 and x. If you have any number with y, then you are going to substitute it with B1 and y. If you do not have any numerical coefficient, only the constant is there, then you are going to substitute it in the place of C1. Clear about that? So you are going to substitute A1x plus B1y and C1 is equal to 0 in the equation and find out find the values of A1, B1 and C1. Similar way for the second equation also, that is given as A2x plus B2y plus C2 is equal to 0. Even there also, using the numerical, whatever the equation they have given, you are going to be substituted with the equation, that is in place of if you have a numerical coefficient with the algebraical coefficient, that is x, then you are going to replace it with in place of A2. If you have the number with y term, then you are going to place it with B2 term. If you do not have any alphanumerical terms and only the constant is there, then you are going to substitute in place of C. Always the equation will be given in this form where the C terms will always be on the right hand side. If you are going to substitute in the general equation, you need to get back to the left hand side, then you are going to substitute in the general equation. Do not get confused. If it is of plus sign, if you take it to the left hand side, it should be of the negative sign. If it is of negative sign, if you are going to take it to the left hand side, then it will be of positive sign. Do not get confused with the signs. Okay. Then now you have understood how to write the ratios. Whatever the value you have under A1 will be written in place of A1. Whatever the value you have under A2 will be written in place of A2. So it is 2 divided by 6. You can also simplify it as 2 ones are, 2 threes are. So it is 1 by 3 also. You can also simplify if the value will be of simplified. If you have the next term, if this term was also the 3 by 9, if it was in terms of 3 by 9, and if this was also been simplified, and if you get a same number, then you can simplify and write it. If the numbers are different, that is 2 by 6, and what is the value? 3 by 7. If you simplify this also, it does not match with the next one. It is not necessary that you should simplify it and keep it. Yes? It's not necessary that you should simplify it and keep. So this is the condition for the intersecting lines. What is the condition for intersecting lines? That is A1 by A2 should not be equal to B1 by B2. Next, coming to the parallel line. How are you going to identify whether the given pair of linear equation is parallel or not? For the given pair of linear equation is parallel or not, the condition is if A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2. Okay, if A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, you have another term, that is C1 by C2. Here, why you did not look at the C1 by C2? Because initially only you did not do. Initially only the terms were not being equal. If the terms are not equal in the initial stages only, so it is not necessary that you need to look at C1 by C2. If it was equal, now see, it is equal here. A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2. Here it is equal. Now you are going to see whether C1 by C2 is equal or not. For the parallel line, C1 by C2 will not be equal. For parallel line, C1 by C2 will not be equal. Did you understand why we did not take C1 by C2 here and why we are going to take C1 by C2 here? Because A1 by A2 and B1 by B2, initially they were not being equal. Here they are equal. Initially they are equal. Then only you are going to take C1 by C2. Clear? Now, what is the conclusion? What you are going to for this example, if you want? For this example, 2x plus 3y is equal to 7. 2x plus 3y is equal to 9. So if they have given me the pair of linear equation, now I need to see whether it is an intersecting lines or parallel line. We need to see whether it is an intersecting or a parallel line. So what is the first thing what you are going to do? You are going to write the general equation. So what is the general equation given as? A1x plus B1y plus C1 is equal to 0. So this is the general equation. Now the thing is which one to take the first equation and which one to take the second equation. It is your choice. Whichever you want, you can take it as the first equation, and whichever you want, you can take it as a second equation. But do not take the first equation as same as the second equation. You should take both of them as different itself. So second general equation is given as A2x plus B2y plus C2 is equal to 0. Clear? So these are the two general equations what you have been studied. Now the equation is given, the numerical equation is given. Let me, or you can say it is the algebraic equation is given. Let me substitute it in the general equation and see if the ratios are equal or not. So what is with the alpha numerical, that is whatever the terms with x is there, it will be replaced in place of A1 with x. Whatever you have, the number with y term will be replaced with B1 by B1 and y. Whatever you have without alpha numerical coefficient, that is either the x or y, you do not have it here. Only the constant is a bari number ittu antane aa number na you are going to replace it with c1. So it is in the right hand side. Now you are going to shift it to the left hand side. Why? Because the general formula I have it in my left hand side. So if you shift it in my left to the left hand side, what happens? Plus 7 becomes minus 7. Be careful when you are shifting. Do not miss the signs. Signs are very important when you find out the ratios. Then the first equation is done. You have the one more equation left out. For that equation, whatever, the same thing, whatever, however you have written the first equation, similar way you are going to write it in the second equation. That is, whatever the number with x is there, you are going to write it in place of a2x. Whatever the number with y you have, you are going to write it in place of b2y, and the number or the constant without any alphanumerical, that is without any alphabets, is being there. It is called as a constant. That constant are being represented with c2. Okay. That constant will always be in the right hand side. So if you shift this right hand side constant to the left hand side, what happens? So this is plus 9. If you shift it to the left hand side, it is minus 9 is equal to 0. So the equation has been ready for you. The value, now you are going to see whether the ratios are equal or not. What is the condition? What is the condition? The first condition is you need to find out whether the ratios are being equal or not. Let me replace it. That is a1 by a2. a1 by a2. a1 by a2. What is the value of a1? You have written that as 2. What is the value of a2? It is also 2. Then what is the value of b1? It is 3. And what is the value of b2? It is 3. Then what is the value of C1? It is minus 7. And what is the value of C2? It is minus 9. So you have written the values for A1 by A2, B1 by B2, C1 by C2. Now you need to see whether it is equal or not equal. If it is equal, if the numbers are same here, see 2 by 2 and 3 by 2. If I 3 by 3, if I simplify it, I get the value as 1. And here also 3 ones are 3 ones are, I'll get it as the value of 1. So A1 by A2 and B1 by B2, A1 by A2 and B1 by B2, both are same. If both are same, I can easily say that it is not a intersecting lines. Clear about this? I can easily say that it is not an intersecting lines. If it is not an intersecting lines, what is the next condition what you wanted to see? If A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, the next condition is it equal to C1 by C2 or it is not equal to C1 by C2? Till now we have learned about the parallel line where C1 by C2 will not be equal. So see whether this is 1, this is 1. So C1 by C2 is minus 7 and minus 8. If you cancel the minus signs, you will be left with 7 divided by 9. 7 divided by 9 is not equal to 1. So you are going to say it as a parallel line. Okay, then how are you going to conclude your answer? How are you going to conclude it? You are going to say that in the parallel line, as you have learned earlier, that is in parallel line, if you see a parallel line, what were you saying? You do not get any solution. So here also the same reason, you do not get any solution. If you are not getting any solution, what is the word, the mathematical term you were using? It is an inconsistent. It is an inconsistent pair of linear equation. These terms are very important. Do not forget these terms. Okay, so it is an inconsistent pair of linear equation. Next, the intersecting lines is over, parallel lines is over. Now you are going to learn about the coincident line. What is a coincident line? Both the pair of linear equation represent a single line. Correct? Both the pair of linear equation represent a single line. Now what is the condition? Here the initially A1 by A2 was not equal to B1 by B2. Here it was equal, but it was not equal to C1 by C2. Then what will be the third condition? All the three will be equal. That is A1 by A2 will be equal to B1 by B2. It is also equal to C1 by C2. All the three will be equal to each other. Clear? Now, how are you going to conclude it? Initially, how we were going to conclude, you will be having n number of solutions. Here also, you will be having infinite number of solutions. Infinite number of solutions you will be having. What is the mathematical term you will be using when you have infinite number of solutions? It is dependent. Dependent. If you are not been using dependent, you can also say it as a consistent. Consistent. You can also say it as a consistent. Clear? For the coincident line, the example is, I'll change here itself. So the equation, what is the linear equation they have given for us? It is 2x plus 3y is equal to 7, and another equation is also 2x plus 3y is equal to 7. What is the first thing you are going to write? You are going to write the general equation, that is a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0. And what is the next general equation of the next line? It is a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. These are the two general equations you should remember. Then whatever the value you have with the x term, you are being replaced with the same one, and y term it is 3y, and you have the constant in the right hand side, you need to shift it to the left hand side. If you shift it to the left hand side, it is minus 7, and the same equations, they have given the same equation, the same line will be written, and the same equation will be written for the second one also. Now what is the next thing you are going to see? Whether a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 or and it is equal to c1 by c2. Now you are going to see whether a1 by a2, b1 by b2 and c1, whether these ratios are equal or not. What is the value of a1? It is 2. What is the value of a2? It is also 2. b1 it is 3. b2 it is also 3. c1 it is minus 7, and c2 it is minus 7. You should write the numbers with the sign itself. It might be here it is minus 3, and here also it is minus 3. If it is minus 3 minus 3, here also you should write it as minus 3 minus 3. If it is of minus 3 and minus plus 3, here you should write it as minus 3 and plus 3. Clear? Now both are plus. Let me write it in the plus signs itself. Now if I simplify it as 1, here also it is 1, minus sign get cancelled, 7 ones are 7 ones are, it is 1. So the what is the value of all the ratios I have got? The value of all the ratios is 1. So what I will conclude it, that is a1 by a2 will be equal to b1 by b2. It is also equal to c1 by c2. Clear about that? So if all the three ratios are equal, then you are going to say it as an infinite solution, and the term what we are going to use is an independent term. If the independent term has not been given in the option, then you can choose it as a consistent. Instead of consistent, if the independent term is given, you should choose it as a independent term itself. This is the condition for graphical representation when the number equation, that is the algebraic expression equation is given, then you should use this ratio form and then say whether it is a intersecting, parallel or coincident lines. Let me take some examples based on this. Yeah, it is 3x plus, what is the algebraic expression given as? 3x plus 2y is equal to 5, and another algebraic expression is given as 2x minus 3y is equal to 7. Yeah, these are the two algebraic expression given. So let me write the general equation, that is a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, and second equation is a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. So these are the two general equation. Now let me take the first line and second line. Let me choose this as the first line. So whatever the number with x term is there, let me write it under a1, and the next is y terms will be written in place of B1 and the constant, see here, the constant is in the right hand side. The constant, whatever you have it in the right hand side, if you bring it to the left hand side, you will get it in the negative sign. So it is minus 5. Yeah. Now, if you write it for the second equation is taken as 2x. So x terms are written under each other. Then you have 3 minus 3y. So minus sign has been written and 3y is also written. 7 is a constant where it has been written in the right hand side should be taken to the left hand side. If plus 7 is taken to the left hand side, what happens? It is minus 7, which is equal to 0. Now the equation is ready for you. Now what is the next thing what you are going to do? You are going to see whether the ratios are equal or not. So it is a1 by a2. What is the value of a1? It is 3. What is the value of a2? It is 2. Then b1 by b2. What is the value of b1? Under b1 it is 2. Under b2 it is minus 3. And what is the value of c1? Under c1 it is under c1 it is minus 5. And under c2 it is minus 7. Clear? Now it is 3 by 2. Whether 3 by 2, that is plus 3 by 2, is it equal to, here plus is there, plus into minus is always minus, so you are going to represent as minus 2 by 3. Is this plus 3 by 2 equal to minus 2 by 3? No, it is not be equal. Correct? So this plus 3 by 2 is not equal to minus 2 by 3. If it is not, the first condition, that is a1 by a2 ratio is not equal to b1 by b2. See the graphical condition what we have studied, that is if a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, then which line is it representing? It is representing the intersecting lines. Is it easy? When they have given the algebraic expression, this is how you are going to represent, this is how you are going to check whether which line is this linear equation, this algebraic linear equation has been representing. If a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, then you are going to say it as a intersecting lines. How many solutions does this intersecting lines has? One solution, or you can use it as a unique solution. If it has a solution, then what are you going to say it as? A consistent. Clear about this? Then let me take another example. Another example is 2x minus 3y is equal to 8, and the next line is given as 4y minus 6y is equal to 9. So this is the equation, algebraic equation given. The first thing what we are going to do is we are going to write the general equation a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0, and you can write it in a aligned way or you can write it by step one below the other. It is your choice. Rough sheets will be given, so make use of the rough sheets and solve the problems. Do not guess the answers and write. At least solve the problem, you get a sure answer. Okay, so let me take this as a first equation and this as a second equation. I'm going to take this as a first equation. I need to write whatever the x terms numbers and with x terms are there under a1x, and b1y is written as minus 3y, and this constant has been given in the right hand side. If I shift it to the left hand side, it is minus 8. Since it is of plus, if I shift it, you will get it as minus 8. Then the second equation is 4x. It is the b term is with minus sign, so minus 6y, and it is minus 9 is equal to 0. So this is the equation. This is the algebraic equation under the general equation I have written. Now what is the next thing I need to do? I need to check whether the ratios are same or not. So what is the value of a1? Under a1, whatever the number you have, that is the value of a1. So you have 2, and under a2, whatever the number you have, it is the value of a2. So it is 4. Now The next term, let me see whether all the terms are being simplified. If I simplify, if I'm going to get the simplified ratio equal to each other, then only I'll simplify. If the simplified ratio is also not equal to each other, then I'm not going to simplify. Let me keep the answer as it is. So b1 by b2. What is b1? The value of b1 is minus 3. The value of b2 is also plus minus 6. Then c1 by c2. What is the value of c1? It is minus 8 divided by minus 9. Now, see, these two get simplified, but the third one won't get simplified. If I simplify this, 2 ones are 2 twos, it is 1 by 2. If simplify this, minus sign get cancelled, 3 ones are 3 twos, it is also 1 by 2. But I cannot simplify this 8 and 9. The negative signs get cancelled, you will get plus sign, correct. But 9 and 8 won't go in single table. So, a1 by a2. If a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, which is not equal to c1 by c2. See, when you have not cancelled, if you left this answer, if you had left it by 2 by 4 and 3 by 6, that is a1 will not be equal to a2. If without the simplification, if you had written that a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, then your answer was wrong. If what I'm going to tell you is, if these two terms simplified answer is also equal, then only simplify. Okay, see here, if this a1 by a2 value is 2 by 4 and b1 by b2 value is 3 by 9. If I simplify, what I get? 1 by 2 I get, and 3 ones are 3 threes are 9. I get 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. At that time, I can say it as not equal. Instead of simplifying, I can directly say it as not equal. But here, if I simplify the ratios, whatever the simplified ratio I get, it is equal. Okay, so see whether if the simplified ratio is also equal, then only simplify and write the answer. If the simplified ratio is also not equal, then it is not necessary to simplify and write. Then what is the answer what you get? That is a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, but it is not equal to c1 by c2. Which line is this condition representing? This is representing the condition of a parallel line where the first intersecting lines, all the two were not equal. That is a1 by a2 was not equal to b1 by b2. But in the second condition, what we saw, that is a1 by a2 was equal, but it was not equal to c1 by c2. In the third condition, all the three was equal. So if two are equal, one is not equal, it is representing the parallel line. Parallel line. How many solutions does this parallel line have? You do not have any solution. No solution you have, because if both the two lines are intersecting, or if they are meeting at one point, then you would have said you have a solution. If they are not meeting only, how can you say it as a solution? Then if it is not having a solution, what is the term you are going to use? It is an inconsistent. So now I think you are clear with this algebraic graphical representation. Next is, if you had been given the expression and if they have not told you need to represent in the graphical representation, then what? Then what method are you going to use and say whether and find out the values of x and y? What method are you going to use to find the values of x and y? Here you would have seen whether it is equal or not. If it was, see, I'll say you, if you have no solution, then what is the use of finding the value of x and y? Is there any use of finding the value of x and y if they have not been asked? No, it is not a use of finding the value of x and y. If they have given only this value and they have told you need to find the value of x and y without using the graphical method, then you should not use this method. The complete method has been omitted. You should not use this method. You have different method to be used. What are the different method to find the values of x and y? The methods are the substitution method, elimination method, cross multiplication method. What are the methods? Substitution, elimination, then cross multiplication. When are you going to use these methods? When they ask you to find the value of x and y without without using the graphical method. If they ask you to find the value of x and y, or if they say whether this line is consistent, check whether the following lines are consistent or inconsistent. If they ask you is it consistent or inconsistent, then you are going to find out the ratio and say whether it is consistent or inconsistent. If they directly ask you to find the value of x and y, then you are not going to find the ratios, then you are going to follow these methods. In this method, you have only elimination method. The substitution method and the cross multiplication method is not there. Only elimination method is there. Only one method is there, that is only elimination method. What is this elimination all about? Let me say. The first thing is, even here also you need to remember the general equation, that is a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. You should remember the general equation. Why? Since I'm not using the ratio, why I should remember this general equation? I'll give you the expression, that is 2x plus 7 is equal to 0. If this is an equation, if you want to say this is an equation or not, you want the general equation, right? You want the general equation. What is the general equation? That is ax plus b is equal to 0. Earlier, before starting this class, we had revised the previous class section. There you have written the standard form, that is ax plus b is equal to 0. Here you can write it as a1x plus b1 is equal to 0. That is the standard form. Correct? So, if you are not using the ratio form also, you should remember the standard form of linear equation. So, you remember the standard form of linear equation has been taught. Then, how are you going to find out the value of x and y? The value of x and y is being taught is you calculate the value of x and y by using the elimination method. How are you going to use this elimination method? Let me take an example and explain you. That is 2x plus 3y is equal to 8, and the next one is 4x plus 6y is equal to 7. So, you need to check whether this is an equation or not. So, for that you need a general equation, that is a1x plus b1y plus c1 or minus c1 should be equal to 0, and a2x plus b2y minus c2 should be equal to 0. So, it is in the general equation. Now, you are going to follow the elimination method. How are you going to follow the elimination method? Let us write the equation what they have given. That is 2x plus 3y is equal to 8. Then it is 4x plus 6y is equal to 7. As the name says, you need to eliminate the term. Now, it is your choice whether you want to eliminate the x terms, you can eliminate the x terms. If you want to eliminate the y terms, you can eliminate the y terms. Both using this equation, this sum only, I will show both the methods. Whichever the method you are sufficient, you are convenient to do, you can do. Now, how are you going to do? Now, let me cancel x terms. Now let me cancel the x terms. Now if I want to cancel the x terms, here I have 2 and here I have 4. Different numbers. The first thing is I need to make them as the same number. To make them as the same number, let me take the highest number. What is the highest number here? 4. The least number is 2. Now I want to make this as the first. Always multiply the least number to get the highest number. Okay. So here I have 4. Here I have 2. 2 should be multiplied with which number to get 4? It should be multiplied by 2, and this 4 should be remained as it is, so I'll multiply it by 1. Now what is the equation I get after multiplying? The equation is 2 2s are 4x plus this 2 should be multiplied for the whole equation. This 1 should be multiplied for the whole equation. Since you are cancelling only x terms, there is no condition that you need to multiply only for the x terms. No, you should multiply this 2 for complete equation. Clear? So it is 2 2s are 4. Next, plus you have written plus it is there, so I have written plus. Next 2 into 3 is 6y is equal to is there, I have written is equal to. Then 2 into 8 is 16. Clear? This is the first equation. Here I am telling you, since you are going to cancel the x terms, whatever the numbers you have, see which is the greater number. Here the greater number is 4 and the least number is 2. So if I multiply 2 into 2, I get 4. So I want the 4 as it is. So I have kept 1 into 4 as 4 itself. So I have kept it as same. So now if I want to cancel this x terms, there is no rules that only 2 should be multiplied for this x term. No, this 2 should be completely multiplied for the whole equation. So if I multiply 2 for the whole equation, I get 4x plus 6y is equal to 16. Next equation I need to multiply. What is the multiplication term I have? 1 I have. So 1 into 4 is 4x only. I have plus, I have written plus. 1 into 6 is 6y itself. Then is equal to z is equal to 1 into 7 is 7 itself. Clear about this? Here you are cancelling x terms, so you are multiplying the x terms. If you are going to cancel the y terms, you will be multiplying the y terms. Now, since here it is also plus sign, here it is also plus sign, here plus plus, everything is plus, you are going to cancel which term? X term. So you are going to change the sign to the whole equation. Whatever the equation you have in the below, you are going to change the sign for the below equation, not the above equation. The below equation you are going to change the sign. Now, in place of plus, you have got minus. So this plus is omitted. You have only minus signs. Not erase it. Let me keep it as it is. So you have plus 4 and minus 4. Plus 4 minus 4 is what? It is 0. So it has been cancelled. So here also it is minus 6 and plus 6 and minus 6. Plus 6 and minus 6 also gets cancelled. Here it is 16 minus 7. What is 16 minus 7? You get 7. Sorry. Yeah. So it is 9. Clear? Now you do not have any term here. Here x term is also not there, so y term is also not there. This is not satisfying the elimination method. This equation is not giving the elimination method. So what is the conclusion you are going to say? The given pair of linear equation is not a pair of linear equation. You are saying not a pair of linear equation. Clear? If you had got here at least 2x plus 0 is equal to, or 0 is equal to 0 plus 2y is equal to 9, then you would have found out the y term and the x term. But here both x and y value are 0. If they are 0, then you are going to say it as not a pair of linear equation. You cannot find the value of x and y because both are all equal. Do you understand this? Similar way, if you want to cancel the y term, write the equation as it is, that is 2x plus 3y is equal to 8. And what is the next equation? 4x plus 6y is equal to 7. This is the equation. Now what are you going to cancel? You are going to cancel the y terms. What is the condition? You are going to see, well, which is the highest number. The highest number is 6 and the least number is 3. Always multiply the least number with whatever you want the value of highest number. So 3, how much are 6 you get? 3 2s are 6 you get. And you want the 6 as it is, so let me multiply it by 1. Clear? If I multiply it, what I get? 2 into 2 is 4x plus 2 into 3 is 6y and it is 16. This remains as it is the equation since you are multiplying it with 1. So the same equation you get, that is 4x plus 6y is equal to 16. 4x plus 6y is equal to 7. Now, what is the next condition? You need to change the sign for the below equation, not the above equation. The below equation you are going to change the sign. Then it is plus 4 and minus 4, again it cancels. Plus 6 minus 6, again it can get cancelled. 16 minus 7 is also 9. So what is the value you get? You get 0 plus 0 is equal to 9. If both x and y terms are 0 at the same time, then you are going to say it as not a pair of linear equation. These like this terms also, like this questions will also be asked in your papers, where they give the value of x and y is equal to 0 and they give the value with the different values also. The option might be as a is equal to 0, 0, b will be equal to 1, 2, c will be equal to 3, 4 or 5, and d will be the last option will be given as 3, 7. Now, what is the value you are going to, what is the option you are going to choose? It is 0, 0 because the value of x and y both are 0 at the same time. If they are asking this type of question. Clear? Since x and y both the values were 0, let me take another sum as an example and show you how to do. So let me take it as x plus y is equal to 5, and the next term is 2x minus 3y is equal to 4. Let me take the sum. It is your choice. Now, how are you going to write the equation? You can write the equation as it is, how it is given in the question paper, or else you can also write it as 2x minus 3y is equal to 4 and x plus y is equal to 5. However they have written in the question paper, you can write it as it is. However, or you can also mix and match. That is, the first term can also be, the first equation can also be written as second equation, and second equation can also be written as first equation. So let me do the sum in both the types. Let me see what is the answer I get. Now, let me take this as x cancellation method. X cancel. Now I need to cancel the x terms. If I want to cancel the x terms, what is the condition I have told? You need to see the numbers what you have with the x. The highest number is 2 and the least number is, if you do not have any number with x, you can write it as 1. Okay, so the highest number is 2 and the least number is 1. Always multiply the least number with the highest number. Okay, not only 2, if it was 3, so here you were 1. You have 1. So you are going to multiply 3 ones are 3. You need to get the value. If this was 3, both the numbers are different. Both the numbers are different, but you want to cancel. At that time, what were you doing? You were writing this 3 here, you were writing this 2 here, because both the numbers are different. It won't give the same value in one single table. If you multiply 2 here, you get 6, but you won't get 6 here. Correct? When you multiply it by 3 only, you get 6 here. Did you understand? So the value is x plus y is equal to 5 and 2x minus 3y is equal to 4. Now you are doing the cancellation for x terms. So now what is the highest term you have? It is 2. What is the least term you have? It is 1. Always multiply the least term to get the answer of the highest term. So it is multiplying by 2, and let me keep this 2 as it is. For that, by keeping as it is, I need to multiply it by 1. Now multiplying this 2 for the whole equation, what you get? 2x plus 2y is equal to 10, and thus what you get? 2x minus 3y is equal to 4. This equation is being kept as it is because you are going to multiply it by 1. Here you are going to cancel x terms. If you are going to cancel x terms, the x term should not be of same signs. Here it is plus and here is also it is plus. So it should not be of same sign. Then what are you going to do? You are going to change the sign. If here it was minus and then plus, there is no necessity of changing the sign. Okay, if it was minus and this was plus, initially before giving the sum, before doing the simplification only, then it was not necessary to change the sign. Since if it is both are in same signs, then you are going to change the sign. If the below equation is of plus sign, then you are going to change it as minus sign. If the below equation is of minus sign, then you are going to change it as plus sign. If the below equation is of plus sign, then you are going to change it as a minus sign. Then plus 2 minus 2 get cancelled, you will be remaining with 0. Then plus plus, both the signs are there, so let me take it as plus. Then 2 plus 3 is 5y. Then here the highest number, that is 10, is there, and the least number 4 is there. So we are going to write the greater number sign. Since both are different signs, you are going to subtract. 10 minus 4 is 6. Now what is the value you get? 5y is equal to 6. So you want the value for y. What is the value for y you get? 6 by 5. You got the value of, for y it is 6 by 5. Then you are going to substitute this y value in any equation. Take the least number equation where you do not have much number to be multiplied or subtracted. So this is the least number equation, that is 1x plus 1y is equal to 5. So this is x plus 6 by 5. You have 1 here, so 1 into 1 is equal to 5. So what it happens? X plus 6 into 1 is 6 itself, 5 into 1 is also 6, 5 itself, so it is 6 by 5 is equal to 5. So x will be equal to 5 minus 6 by 5. Now here the denominator you have 1, here in the denominator you have 5. Now what you are going to do, you are going to take the LCM. So if you take the LCM, what happens? It is 5. Since it is of 1 and 5, if you multiply 1 and 5, it is 5 itself. Then in the denominator you have 1, so you are going to multiply both the denominator and numerator by 5 because you want the denominator as 5. So 5 5s are, it is 25. Or you can also cross this 5, you can take it here, this 1 you can take it here. Okay, you can cross the numbers, and 6 into 1 is 6 itself. So 25 minus 6 is 19 divided by 5. So the value of x you got as 19 divided by 5. This is when you cancel the x terms. When you cancel the x terms, initially you get the y value, then you get the x value. Now if I cancel the y terms, what happens if I cancel the y term? Now if I want to cancel the y term, as I've told that you need to see where first the highest number and the least number. You do not worry about the negative sign, only see about the numbers. So it is 3 and here it is 1. Now what are you going to do? You are going to multiply the least number with the highest number, that is 3, and you are going to multiply the highest number with the least number, that is 1. Clear about this? You can also take the negative sign. I do not want the negative sign. Let me take only the numbers. So have taken only the numbers. If I multiply, what happens? I get the first equation as it is because I am multiplying it with 1. So it is 2x minus 3y is equal to 4. And the second equation is 3. If there is no number, then you are going to take it as 1. 3 into 1 is 3x. And this plus sign, 3 into 1 is 3y is equal to 3 5s are 15. See here, by what cancellation you are doing? You are doing y cancellation. If you are doing y cancellation, you should only see the y terms. Here it is minus, here it is plus. So initially only the equation, in the equation they have only given the sign change. Here you do not, it is not required that you need to change the sign because it's already 1 is plus and 1 is minus. You can directly cancel it off. So it is 2 plus 3 is 5x is equal to 4 plus 15 is 19. So what is the value of x you get? You get 19 by 5. Initially when you cancel x, what is the value, what is the value of x you got? It is 19 by 5 itself. Correct? 19 by 5 was the value what you got in the initial, that is when you cancelled the x term and you proceeded with the terms. Here also you got the x term. X term same, that is 19 by 5 itself. Clear? Did you understand? And if you keep this value here and if you do the LCM, you get the y value same, that is 6 by 5 itself. When you cancel y, you get x first and then y. When you cancel x, you get y plus y first and then x. The two things what you should remember in this method is if you get both x and y equal to 0 at a time itself. Here if you get x is equal to 0, then if you get y value as something else, so then it is not a problem. If both the values are equal at a time to 0, then you are going to say it as not a pair of linear equation. Clear? Then if you have different numbers, then you can say it as a pair of linear equation and you can take the values. So this is the last method what you have, that is the elimination method. After this you have reducible method. That reducible method is not needed for the multiple choice thing because the reducible method is of this type. This kind, you will get the question based on this kind. I'll tell you how it is, but it is not very important to the multiple choice based terms. How you get the question is 2 divided by x plus 3 divided by y is equal to 5. So you get 2 by x. You are going to take the number outside and keep the alpha numerical terms inside. And the next term you will get it as 7 by x plus 6 by y is equal to 10. So how are you going to write it in this? You are going to take the number outside. You are going to take only the alpha numerical terms. Here also number outside, alpha numbers inside and 10. So now you are going to take this as a equation. If this is the question given for the reducible method, this is how you are going to write. Here you are going to consider 1 by x as p and 1 by y as q. Then what is the equation you get? 2p plus 3q is equal to 5 for first equation. Then 7p plus 6q is equal to 10 for the second equation. Then you are going to proceed. This takes very long time, so they won't give you these types of question. Do not worry about the reducible method. If they give you this type of question, if they give you by chance, if they give you this type of question, at that time, the thing what you wanted to do is take the number outside, write the alphabet inside. Take the number outside, write the alphabet inside. If you do this, you get the alphabet as 1 by x, 1 by x, 1 by y, 1 by y. At that time, you can name it as PQ or XY or AB, whatever you want, you can name it and you can write the equation and then solve. This reducible method consists of substitution method, elimination method and cross multiplication method. In that they need to opt only the elimination method because you have only elimination method. So these type of question won't be given. Till now, this is what the linear pair of equations